Hi, I'm Ben Quiggle, editor of Woodall's Campground Magazine, and this is another episode of Supplier Showcase, and I'm with Will Weideman, who is co-founder, I guess, with your wife Carol of Peak
hmm
Energy Technology. And if anybody who's watching goes around to conferences, you guys go to quite a few, I guess. So
Yes, we
quite a
do.
few state and national conferences.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, and just wanted to talk a little bit today about the technology you guys have, the Peak Energy Saver, which is which is the main product, I guess. Just explain a little bit, William, what that product is, and maybe how you got, how you decided or found you were going to create that product, I guess.
Well, basically, it is a box that you mount next to your main circuit breaker panel
Yeah.
that recycles and reuses some of the electricity that you're buying, so you don't have to buy as much. Most of the campgrounds that we're seeing across the country are seeing about a 15 to 20% reduction in the kilowatt hours that they're buying from the power company. I've seen it as high as 28%, and if you're not saving at least 10%, we'll buy it back. We started this company because, well, um, uh, during the depression in 2009, I got laid off, and so I needed to cut costs, and so I figured out how to do this on my home. I saw
Okay.
a 21% savings and started talking about it, and it just kind of grew from there. So we help more than just campgrounds, but you know, for Woodalls, we're talking about how we can actually help campground owners with that. Um,
Yeah, and basically, I think we've talked about it a couple times before, but basically, you're capturing electricity that may go back to the grid. Instead, you're
yes,
kind of like recycling it and allowing people to use it, I guess.
right. You get to use it over and over. So you buy it once and use it over and over, 60 times a second, every single second that the motors are running or the electronics are running. Now it's not it's not a magic bullet. So if you're using something that doesn't use magnetism, like a heater, right? A coffee pot, electric water heater, LEDs, I can't lower the cost of operating that kind of equipment. But your refrigeration, air conditioners, pool pumps, laundry equipment, microwave ovens, TVs, computers, those kinds of things I can help with.
Yeah. And we're just kind of scrolling through your website here. You've got a ton of information on your website just about the product, some
hmm
basic questions and answers that people have. You have a ton of testimonials, which I'll scroll through a couple here in a minute. And you also have some videos highlighting the technology. I know, well, right here's an RV resort, areas you can recycle electricity. So you have a ton of information on here to help resorts maximize the technology, I guess.
That's right. Well, what we're finding as we're talking to RV park owners across the country is that this is typically their second highest expense.
Yeah.
And in many cases, it's more expensive than the mortgage or, it's just right after labor. And so if we can save them quite a bit, we definitely get their attention. And in fact, you can see, I don't know if you can see in the little poster behind me, but you can see all the picnic tables in that little map back there. All of those are campgrounds that are currently have our product right now. So we've been doing this for about 16 years now.
Okay. Yeah, and like I said, these are kind of the testimonials. You work with small and large campgrounds. I guess uh, you know, do all those campgrounds see the same? Do the larger campgrounds notice a bigger difference? Does it really matter on the size of the campground how much they save? I guess.
No, there's some variations that come along, but it's not really about how big the campground or how small it is. Some of the factors are how old the equipment is, the grid in that particular area. It's just just kind of varies a bit. But in all the cases, we're seeing savings greater than 10%, and so that's um, where we kind of drew the line. If you're not seeing 10%, we'll buy it back. But most campgrounds are seeing about a 15 to 20% savings. I've seen
Okay.
a few that get well over 25%, but that's pretty rare.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think you have a section on here where you talk about whether it works with solar. I guess
Hmm.
how does it work with solar? I guess.
Well, so basically, this is actually help reducing the load that you're actually running as far as the source of electricity is. So, in the case that you're just buying all your electricity from the grid, from the power company operator, then you're buying less from them. But solar is just simply another source of electricity, or wind generation is merely another source of electricity. And so it doesn't matter where that electricity is coming from, we're helping you use less of it. So if you have a solar system in there, then that means you're going to get more bang for your buck out of your solar system, and you'll have more of that electricity to sell back to the grid.
Okay. And then you have some videos here,
Hmm.
designing spaces, talking with some different customers. You've been on the TV a few times, so I guess you must be a TV star now. So
I don't know that I would say that. I think I got 5 minutes of fame, so
I get 5 minutes. And then I think over the last year or so, you guys have really been talking about your surge protection too. I guess can you talk a little
right.
bit more about what that entails?
So um, back in 2020, the National Electric Code um, changed the code so that residences needed to have surge protection on all their main panels. Uh, what we're seeing is that in some jurisdictions, the inspectors are also asking for that on RV parks. And so, whether you're mandated to do that by the local codes or not, having surge protection is just an added safety bonus. So we were able to put that in the same size box so that it's an efficient, easy to install, so that you have 10 times the amount of surge protection of what the NEC code calls for. It calls for 10,000 amps. We're offering 100,000 amps of surge protection in there, all built into the same thing. So it will protect your panel. So if you install it on the main panel by where the electricity comes in from the power company, it will protect all the wires from that main panel all the way down through your pedestals, which are in many cases are buried underground, and
Okay.
as well as your pedestals, as well as your customers as well. So it protects. It gives you um, the equivalent of whole house surge protection, but it's for the entire surge, the entire circuits that are running off of that main panel.
Okay. Have you ever had any issues with like local electric companies or anything, seeing the boxes and having an issue with them? I guess.
I've heard some anecdotal stories of people that um, didn't understand why all of a sudden their customers' electric bills dropped and started asking questions.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm not aware, it's all installed on your equipment so that you're not touching the power company's equipment. So it's all
Okay.
perfectly legal. There's no real legality about what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I know dealing with the electric companies can be fun, especially when it comes down to their equipment or my equipment.
That's right. I mean, that you install it on your equipment, your breaker panel. You don't call up the power company and say, "Sir, may I please add another television to my home?" And this is much the same kind of
And,
thing.
and then I think this pricing here. So you have a bunch of different options. You have a tester. Just kind of explain the difference between like a residential and a three phase unit, I guess.
Right. So we have we have single phase and we have three phase products.
Okay.
So the single phase is what is typically used in RV parks. I'd say 95% of the RV parks all have single phase, so that's the one that they would use. Every once in a while, we run into an RV park that either has a mixture of three phase or it is solely three phase. And so we can actually accommodate that as well. So
Okay.
we have 60 different sizes of three phase. We have a standard size that we have for the single phase products to keep it simple.
Okay. And obviously, you guys go to a lot of conferences, conventions. I guess, how do you obviously you have the website here, peakenergytech.com, and then some contact information here. What's the best way to get in touch with you? Is it a call or email or?
Uh, Either way, you can call us. You can see our numbers up there. You can
Yeah.
reach us through the contact form. We certainly go to a number of the trade shows that we talked about. We also back up our promises by working with certifiedelectricity.net,
Okay.
recycleelectricity.net, and we use that to actually get the data and the camper nights so that we can demonstrate what your savings really is. And so if it's less than 10%, we'll buy it back. If it's more than that, then we'll give you a little certificate and royalty-free use of the logo for your advertising and a listing on who's who on recycleelectricity.net with a link back to your website. So it gives you a little help with your website marketing. You have the certificate you can frame in the office because every once in a while, a whole lot of people are calling themselves green,
Hmm.
and some people are kind of becoming cynical about it. And so they're looking for evidence that says that you really are green. And so we're going to
Yeah.
offer that to you as well.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I know people are definitely concerned about the environment, so being able to show that your business is being responsible is good. So, okay, well, thank you, William, for talking a little bit about peak energy technology, and I'm sure I will see you around at a conference here soon, maybe
All
this
right.
fall. All right.
All right. Thank
Well,
you very much.
yep, and thanks everyone for watching, and we'll be back next time.